Good afternoon and welcome to a little noon version of Break Traders. We've got some absolute baseball to kick off here with, and then some Panini Prism Baseball. Excited for that. That'll be the first time that we are opening those, so I'm very excited about that. We are going to get started here by auctioning off some teams for the Panini Absolute Hobby One Box Break. But first, I wanted to add a little bit to our giveaway pack, and we have these little Diamond Kings baseball blasters right here. Some Diamond Kings baseball blasters that we are dropping in the giveaways. They include a bonus pack here. Looks like there is 2, 4, 6, and 7 packs, including that bonus pack. We got dropping 2 of those in there today. And just wait for tomorrow. We've got a ton of new giveaway product that we'll be dropping in the giveaway pack today. Alrighty. Well, we've got some absolute baseball right here to kick off, but we do have some teams to auction off. And first up, we have the Los Angeles Dodgers. They're going to start at $5 and go up in increments of $1. $5 from Harry, the current high bid. Do we have $6 for the Los Angeles Dodgers? Alrighty, we are going to start the countdown. 30 seconds on the clock. Any bids in the 30-second window will re-trigger a 15-second window, but Harry currently has the high bid at $5. $6 from Curtis. $6 from Curtis. That started right before the countdown. $8 from Harry, which means we'll definitely be having another 15 seconds on the clock. $15 seconds on the clock. Oh, 1 second, folks. It appears my chat is again not working, so I didn't see if there's any new bids in after the original countdown. 1 moment, folks.
I did not see any.
Okay, so Harry wins them for 8. Harry, you know what to do. The link's in the chat, but you can wait because we're also auctioning off the Miami Marlins and the Mets. Miami Marlins, the bidding will begin at $5 in increments of $1. $10 from Harry, $11 from Curtis. Don't even need the timer to get the bids going on the Miami Marlins right here. But we'll start at 30 seconds on the clock. Any bids will trigger at 15 seconds. Alrighty, the countdown is complete. Curtis, you have them for $11. You have it for $11 right there. And now we have our last team to auction off, and that is going to be the Mets. Bidding will begin at $5 in increments of $1. And I apologize on the delay there. Having some chat issues. So I'd had to open YouTube in another browser. So my apologies on that, folks. Do we have 5 for the New York Mets? We have 6 from Harry. 6 from Harry. We'll start the 30-second timer. Seven from our cast. 7 from our cast, which means there'll be a 15-second timer here at the end. Let's go. 15 seconds on the clock. Eight from Harry gets it in right under the countdown, which means another 15 seconds has started. Alrighty, Harry gets them. So that means we have, Harry, you owe a total of 8 plus 8, $16, and Curtis, $11 right there. Sorry about the confusion there, Curtis. Alrighty. And with that, while we wait to receive these payments, we will do our next keyword giveaway. And this is going to be a new TV show. John, you let me know when you're ready and we will fire away. All right, we are good to go. That keyword is neighborly. Thank you, Curtis. Alrighty. Neighborly, neighborly, neighborly. No correct guesses yet. Sesame Street, incorrect. Mr. Rogers, incorrect. Incorrect.
What a good guess.
Great guess based on neighborly. I was like, no one's guessed neighborly yet? All right, with that, here we go. This is break 1244, the 2021 Absolute One Box Pick Your Team. I gotta say, I love with Absolute, like, this break only has 5 minutes scheduled because we left because we had had all of the auctions, but we'll still be able to finish it on schedule based on the amount of cards in this one. But they're great cards. Love Absolute. I've never opened Absolute Football before. That looks like it's coming out in October, though who knows, because these keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed. Jose Abreu of the Sage Box is still in the sauce pot. Jose Abreu of the Chicago White Sox going to Kevin. Dansby Swanson of the Atlanta Braves headed to Alicia. Alicia, welcome to BreakTraders. All new members of BreakTraders can use promo code NEWBT for 20% off their first purchase at BreakTraders.com. Then we have Max Fried of the Atlanta Braves as well going to Alicia. Frank Chance, and John, you will have to look up Mr. Chance when you're sorting. I will double check him right now to see which Chicago this is. I believe it is the Chicago Cubs, so that's going to Cynthia, followed by Cody Bellinger of the LA Dodgers going to Harry. Then we have a Kyle Hendricks out of 149 of the Chicago Cubs going to Cynthia. Following that up with a Power Reggie Jackson, the Power Reggie Jackson of the New York Yankees heading to Greg. And then we have a 75 out of 99 George Brett Icons of the Kansas City Royals going to Mr. CEO. And here we go. Our first memorabilia is going to be a Vladimir Guerrero Tools of the Trade. Vladimir Guerrero, Tools of the Trade of the loss of the Montreal Expos, which now the Washington Nationals. And that is going to be heading to Greg. And following up that one, we have a Will Crow out of 50. Out of 50 auto right there. Will Crow rookie signatures out of 50. And that is of the Pittsburgh Pirates going to Kevin. Daddy Vlad. Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs to Cynthia. Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox to Kevin. Matt Chapman of the Oakland Athletics going to Mr. CEO. Clayton Kershaw of the LA Dodgers going to Harry. Then we have Willie Adams of the Tampa Bay Rays to Greg. Followed up by an Anthony Santander out of 99 of the Baltimore Orioles to Kevin. Followed up by a rookie class, Sixto Sanchez of the Miami Marlins going to Curtis. And then we have Tony Lazzeri out of 149 of the New York Yankees headed to Greg. And now on to our memorabilias for this one. We're going to have a Jeff Bagwell Tools of the Trade out of Houston. And that is going to be going to Cynthia. And then our rookie memorabilia here, I believe, is going to be a Ryan Jeffers, and that is out of 50, and that is a signature Quads rookie patch auto. Tools of the Trade. That's a nice car right there. Ryan Jeffers of the Minnesota Twins going to Kevin. Alrighty. Well, let's run down this break. Some of our inserts in rookies. We have Tony Lazzeri, the Unsung Heroes, 100 out of 149 of the Yanks going to Greg. Sixto Sanchez of the Miami Marlins headed to Curtis with the rookie class. Anthony Santander of the Baltimore Orioles going to Kevin. The icon George Brett of the Kansas City Royals to Mr. CEO. The Power Reggie Jackson of the Yankees going to Greg. And then a Kyle Hendricks out of 149 of the Chicago Cubs going to Cynthia. And now on to our memorabilia. we have 2 veterans right there. We have the Vladimir Guerrero, tools of the trade of the Montreal Expos, now of the Washington Nationals, headed to Greg. And then we have the Jeff Bagwell, tools of the trade of the Houston Astros, headed to Cynthia. And next up, we have 2 rookies. We have Will Crow of Pittsburgh, and then we have Ryan Jeffers of Minnesota. Will Crow with the 35 out of 50 rookie signatures, and then Ryan Jeffers with the 23 out of 50 signature quads, tools of the trade rookie patch auto of the Twins. That is going to be headed to Kevin, while Will Crow of the Pirates also headed to Kevin. And with that, we are done with break 1244. And right before we get into this Prism, we will do our first keyword giveaway. So type neighborly into the chat. Type neighborly into the chat to be entered to win. And we will randomize this here shortly. Yeah, that is funny, Harry. All right, John, can we get a countdown?
Sure. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is Harry Hood.
Harry Hood. And he is getting, the Diamond Kings exclusive pack. Diamond Kings exclusive pack for Mr. Hood. We have a Chicago Team Heroes Javier Baez, followed by a Mariano Rivera, and that's with the blue frame. Yogi Berra of the Yankees, Chris Davies artist proof of the Athletics, and then a Babe Ruth insert. I feel like that's like a phenomenal Diamond Kings box or pack right there. I could be wrong, but I feel like there's some great pulls out of that. And with that, we're on to Prism Baseball. First time we've opened Prism Baseball yet. Oh boy. 12 cards per pack, 12 packs per box, and we're looking for 3 autos. We have Keegan Aiken, RC of the Baltimore Orioles, headed to Brooks. Right there, followed by Tim Anderson of the Chicago White Sox. Then we have a Anthony Rizzo of the Cubs, followed up by an Estevan Florial, RC of the New York Yankees, heading to Robert. Then we have Ryan Mountcastle, RC of the Baltimore Orioles, going to Brooks, followed up by George Brett of the Kansas City Royals to Kevin, Sammy Sosa of the Chicago Cubs. Then we have a old school Ken Griffey Jr. insert right there of the Seattle Mariners, headed to Kevin. Following that up with JT Realmuto of Philadelphia. And then we're going to have a blue old school, and that is Ralph Kiner of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and that is 24 out of 60 with the nice blue wave old school right there. Following that up, we're going to have a red Keegan Aiken, the red Keegan Aiken RC of the Baltimore Orioles, headed to Brooks, followed by an emergent Bobby Witt Jr. of the Kansas City Royals, going to Kevin. Isaac Paredes RC of the Detroit Tigers going to Kevin. Following that up with Randy Arozarena of the Tampa Bay Rays, Craig Biggio of the Astros, Jonathan Stever of the Chicago White Sox going to Kevin. Then we have Jonathan India of the Cincinnati Reds headed to Cynthia RC, followed by Cody Whitley of the St. Louis Cardinals RC going to Rob. Then we have Josh Hader of the Milwaukee Brewers, Andres Jimenez RC of the Cleveland Guardians heading to Kevin, followed up by Raymond Laureano Fearless of the Oakland Athletics going to Robert. Following that up with Jorge Oña RC of the San Diego Padres, and then a blue prism, Isaac Paredes RC of the Detroit Tigers headed to Kevin. And then we have a stargazing Xander Bogaerts of the Boston Red Sox, and that is going to be going to Cynthia. Jesus Luzardo of the A's, Jeff Bagwell of Houston, Kyle Hendricks of the Cubs. Then we have Trevor Larnach of the Minnesota Twins RC headed to Kevin, followed up by Daz Cameron of the Detroit Tigers RC to Kevin as well. We have Nelson Cruz of Minnesota, Bo Bichette of Toronto, a Mike Trout, and there we go. What a pretty card right there. And that is of the Los Angeles Angels, and that is going to Kevin. Nice stained glass right there. Followed by Clayton Kershaw of the Dodgers. And then we have a Disco Kirby Puckett of the Minnesota Twins, and that's 64 out of 75 right there, heading to Kevin. Following that up with a red Whit Merrifield of the Kansas City Royals going to Kevin as well. And then a Fireworks Mike Trout of the Angels headed to Kevin. We have Frank Thomas of the White Sox, followed up by a Pavin Smith RC of the Arizona Diamondbacks. It is not numbered. Of the Arizona Diamondbacks going to Cynthia, and then Jorge Guzman of the Miami Marlins going to David. Followed by Edward Kalina of the Minnesota Twins going to Kevin. Followed by Sam Huff of the Texas Rangers RC headed to Gavin. Wow, lots of rookies. And this one, Mike Trout of the Angels, followed by Jahmai Jones RC of the Baltimore Ravens. And then we have an Illumination, Vlad Guerrero Jr., Illumination of the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is going to Kevin as well. Followed up by Yordan Alvarez of the Houston Astros. Then we have a silver Spencer Howard RC of the Philadelphia Phillies headed to Kevin. And then a rookie class Alex Kirilloff of the Minnesota Twins heading to Kevin as well. And here we go. Looks like our first auto. And that is going to be an Adonis Medina rookie autographs of the Philadelphia Phillies heading to Kevin. Yeah, looks like the numbers for the stained glass start at like out of 199, and then obviously go down to, there's 3 different ones of one you can get from the stained glass in the Panini Prism Basketball. We have Anderson Tejada RC of the Texas Rangers going to Gavin. Following that up with Rafael Devers of the Boston Red Sox, a Tristan McKenzie RC of the Cleveland Guardians to Kevin. Then we have Ian Anderson Ian Anderson of the Atlanta Braves going to Kevin as well. Following that up with Carlos Correa of the Houston Astros, Bryce Harper of the Phillies, Chris Paddock of the Padres, Luis Alexander Basabe of the San Francisco Giants going to Christopher, a fearless RC, Dylan Carlson of the St. Louis Cardinals headed to Rob, Kristen Yelich of the Milwaukee Brewers, followed by a blue Randy Arozarena of the Tampa Bay Rays headed to Jake right there. And then we have an Andres Jimenez rookie class of the Cleveland Guardians, and that is going to Kevin. Harry, you're putting a lot of pressure on me to make these things happen for you. I'll do my best, though. Jim Thome of Cleveland, following that up with an Andre I don't want no scrubs of the Houston Astros going to Kevin as well. He must be hanging out the passenger side of his best friend's ride. Followed by Braylon Marquez of the Chicago Cubs going to Brooks. Then we have Larry Walker of the Rockies, Fernando Tatis of the Padres, Jeff McNeil of the Mets, Yu Darvish of the Padres, followed by an old school Harmon Killebrew of the Minnesota Twins going to Kevin. Following that up with Jose Abreu of the Cubs. And then we're going to have a Sixto Sanchez 100 out of 100 of the Miami Marlins going to David. With the neon... No, that's not that one. Not a bad Sixto Sanchez hit right there. Followed by a Yermin Mercedes of the Chicago White Sox going to Kevin right there. And then we have a slugger, Eloy Jimenez, the slugger of the Chicago White Sox. Next up, we have Zach Minkistry of RC of the Los Angeles Dodgers going to Brooks, followed by Luis Diaz of the Miami Marlins headed to David. Then we have Luis Campusano of the San Diego Padres headed to Kevin, followed by a Spencer Howard RC of the Phillies, and that's going to Kevin. Then we have Gleyber Torres of the Yankees, followed up by Ricky Henderson of the Athletics, Kyle Cody of the Texas Rangers going to Gavin, a fearless Ketel Marte of the Arizona Diamondbacks headed to Cynthia. Then we have Dean Kremer of the Baltimore Orioles, and that is going to Brooks. Following that up with a silver Bandon Bielak of the Houston Astros RC heading to Kevin. And then we have a championship stage, Jake Arrieta of the Chicago Cubs. And that is going to Brooks. A nice silver championship stage right there. And then our auto is going to be a rookie autographs, Zach Minkistry. And that is going to be out of 75 of the Los Angeles Dodgers headed to Brooks. Wow, this rookie rundown is going to really be something else. Trey Turner of the Nationals, Jared Kelenic of the Seattle Mariners going to Kevin, followed up by Austin Meadows of the Tampa Bay Rays, Dalton Jeffers RC of the Oakland Athletics. Then we have Daniel Lynch and that is going to be headed to Robert, followed by Daniel Lynch of the Kansas City Royals going to Kevin, Brandon Bielak of the Houston Astros headed to Kevin, following that up by Mitchell White of the Los Angeles Dodgers going to Brooks. Then we have Vlad Guerrero of the Toronto Blue Jays, and that is headed to Kevin as well, followed by an Illumination Freddie Freeman of the Atlanta Braves going to Kevin, and then we're going to have a Seth Romeo rookie of the Washington Nationals to Chris, followed by a blue Jim Thome of the Cleveland Guardians heading to Kevin. And then we have the championship stage, Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs going to Brooks. Alex Verdugo of the Red Sox, followed by Jared Olivia of the Pittsburgh Pirates, headed to Kevin. Then we have Ryan Castellani of the Colorado Rockies going to Cynthia, followed by Jack Morris of the Minnesota Twins. Then a Christian Pache RC of the Atlanta Braves going to Kevin, followed up by Will Crow of the Pittsburgh Pirates, headed to Kevin as well. Mike Piazza of the Mets, and that is going to be heading to Robert, followed by an Illumination Buster Posey of the San Francisco Giants going to Chris. Chris, welcome to Break Traders, followed by a Will Craig RC of the Pittsburgh Pirates, and then we're going to have a nice Jake Cronenworth out of 149 RC of the San Diego Padres, headed to Kevin. Following that up with a red Rafael Marchand of the Philadelphia Phillies RC going to Kevin as well. And then a Lumber Inc. That's Mike Yastrzemski of the San Francisco Giants going to Chris. And here we go, 3 packs left in this break. Ronald Acuna Jr. of the Braves, Zach Gallen of the Diamondbacks, Trevor Story of the Rockies, Francisco Lindor of the Mets, a Taylor Jones RC of the Houston Astros headed to Kevin, followed by Randy Johnson of the Diamondbacks, a Chris Bubik RC of the Kansas City Royals going to Kevin as well, followed by a Fearless Chris Bryant of the Chicago Cubs going to Brooks. Then we have Chipper Jones of the Atlanta Braves, followed by a Nick Neidert RC of the Miami Marlins, and that's a silver, and that is going to David. Following that up with a silver Luis Campusano RC, and then a Stargazing, and that's not Justin, but that is Shane Bieber. Right there. Alrighty, 2 packs left in this break. Blake Snell of the Padres and Alex Manoah of the Toronto Blue Jays RC going to Kevin, followed by Tucker Davidson of the Braves headed to Kevin, Nolan Arenado of the Cardinals, Mike Yastrzemski of the Giants, Robert Yount of the Milwaukee Brewers, followed by a Brady Singer RC of the Kansas City Royals heading to Kevin. Then we have Pete Alonso of the Mets, a old school Babe Ruth of the New York Yankees going to Robert. Then we have Kwang Hyun Kim of the Cardinals, a blue Yona Heim of the Texas Rangers RC to Gavin. Then we have a rookie class Kohai Ariara of the Texas Rangers headed to Gavin as well. And we're on to our last pack. Luis Garcia of the Houston Astros RC going to Kevin. Andrew Vaughn of the White Sox headed to Kevin as well. Debbie Garcia of the New York Yanks going to Robert. Followed by Bobby Dalbec of the Boston Red Sox headed to Cynthia. Then we have Corbin Brunez of the Brewers, followed by George Springer of the Blue Jays. Jonah Heim of the Texas Rangers RC going to Gavin, followed by a Fearless Whit Merrifield of the Kansas City Royals. Then we have Aristides Aquino of the Cincinnati Reds to Cynthia, followed by a blue Dalton Varsho at a 199 RC of the Arizona Diamondbacks going to Cynthia. A red Kettle Marte of the Diamondbacks going to Cynthia as well. And then a emergent Heliot Ramos of the San Francisco Giants going to Christopher. Alrighty. And with that, we are done opening packs, and now we will run down some rookies. We have the Dalton Varsho RC of the Diamondbacks, Jonah Heim of the Rangers, Bobby Dahlbeck of the Red Sox, Devi Garcia of the Yanks, Andrew Vaughn of the White Sox, Luis Garcia of Houston, a rookie class Kohai Ariha of the Texas Rangers, a blue Jonah Heim of the Rangers, Brady Singer of Kansas City, Tucker Davidson of Atlanta, Alex Manoah of Toronto, a silver Luis Campusano of the Padres, Chris Bubik of the Kansas City Royals, Taylor Jones of Houston, a red Rafael Marchand of the Phillies, Will Craig of Pittsburgh, Will Crow of Pittsburgh, Christian Pache of the Braves, Ryan Castellani of Colorado, Jared Olivia of Pittsburgh, Seth Romeo of Washington, Mitchell White of the Dodgers, followed by Brandon Bielik of Houston, Daniel Lynch of Kansas City, Dalton Jeffries of Oakland, Jared Kalenic of the Mariners, a silver Brandon Bielik of Houston, followed by Dean Kremer of Baltimore, Kyle Cody of the Rangers, Spencer Howard of the Philadelphia Phillies, Luis Campusano of the Padres, Lynn Diaz of the Marlins, Zach McKinstry of the Los Angeles Dodgers, Yerman Mercedes of the Cubs, this nice Sixto Sanchez out of 100 of the Marlins, Brandon Marquez of the Cubs. Here we go. We have Andre Scrub of Houston, the rookie class Andres Jimenez of the Cleveland Guardians, the fearless Dylan Carlson of St. Louis, Luis Alexander Basabe of the Giants, Ian Anderson of Atlanta, Tristan McKenzie of Cleveland, Anderson Tejada of Texas, Alex Kirilloff, rookie class of the Twins, a silver Spencer Howard of the Phillies, Jahmai Jones of Baltimore, Sam Huff of Texas, Edward Kleina of Minnesota, Jorge Guzman of Miami, Pevin Smith of Arizona, Daz Cameron of Detroit, Trevor Larnach of Minnesota, a blue Isaac Paredes of the Detroit Tigers, Jorge Oña of the Padres, Andres Jimenez of Cleveland, Cody Whitley of the Cardinals, followed by Jonathan India of Cincinnati, Jonathan Staver of Chicago, Isaac Paredes of Detroit, a red Keegan Aitken of Baltimore, Ryan Mountcastle of Baltimore, Esteban Florio of the Yanks, and Keegan Aitken of the Orioles. And now on to our featured cards. First, we have the out of 149 Jake Cronenworth of the Padres and the stained glass Mike Trout of the Los Angeles Angels. And then we've got some autos. Our two non-numbered autos, we have the base Adonis Medina, the silver Nick Nieder, and then the out of 75 Zach McKinstry. Adonis Medina of the Phillies going to Kevin, Zach McKinstry of the Los Angeles Dodgers headed to Brooks, and Nick Nieder of the Miami Marlins headed to David. And with that, we are done with break 1245. We'll be right back from BT Field with some certified football. Alrighty, we are back with some certified football, and we are going to do, we have one team to auction off, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. The bidding will begin at $5, and it will be in increments of $1. $11 from Cynthia, $12 from Harry. All right, we're going to start the countdown. 30 seconds on the clock. Any bids that occur in the 30-second window will trigger a 15-second ending bid window as well. And anytime there's a bid in those windows, they will re-trigger another one. Seven from AM breaks, which is not enough to either re-trigger a new bid or even be a high bid. So Harry Hood taking it with $12. Harry taking it with $12 right there. And we will do our next keyword while we wait to receive payment. No worries. Here we go. We are going to do our next keyword. And it is going to be fence. Home improvement is correct. Let's see what we've got for Harry. It's going to be a Young Guns Upper Deck Hockey. Kale Mocker, Ben Chariot, Jesper Bratt, Alex Chizon, an award winners Gagan DePrue, Joel Eriksson, Leon Dratzel, and Justin Holl. Alrighty. I will get those teams loaded. We got a lot of newbies here today. Love to see it. Love to see it. Here we go. This is break 1246. The 2021 Certified Football One Box Pick Your Team. Looking for 2 autos and 2 memorabilia cards in here. Ten packs in here, 5 cards per pack. We have DeAndre Swift of the Lions, and we're going to have a memorabilia right off the bat, followed by a dark horse, Stephon Diggs of the Buffalo Bills going to Darren. Then we have Baker Mayfield of the Browns, followed by Calvin Ridley of the Falcons. And here we go. It is going to be Devontae Parker of the Miami Dolphins out of 249, and that is headed to Bill. Bill, welcome to BreakTraders. I'm definitely going to be saying welcome to BreakTraders a lot in this break. Any new BreakTraders member can use promo code NEWBT for 20% off their first purchase at BreakTraders.com. Brandon Cooks of the Texans, followed by a seal of approval, Tom Brady of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, headed to Matthew. Then we have Russell Wilson of the Seahawks and Jalen Reagor of the Eagles. And then our next, this looks like an auto, and it is going to be an 11 out of 25 or 10 out of 25 rookie auto, and that is Larry Roundtree III of the Los Angeles Chargers going to Jason. Nice hit right there. Welcome to BreakTraders, Jason. We have Taysom Hill of the Saints, followed by a Kellen Mond RC out of 299 of the Minnesota Vikings going to Sylvester. There's the filler right there, followed by a Stars Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals going to Jason. Then we have T. Higgins of the Bengals. T. Higgins of the Bengals, followed by Justin Jefferson of the Minnesota Vikings. Drew Lock of the Broncos, followed by a Stars Travis Kelce out of 199 of the Kansas City Chiefs going to Jason. Then we have Carson Wentz of the Colts and Rob Gronkowski of the Buccaneers. And here we go with a out of 75 Tua of the Miami Dolphins going to Bill. You did not see Barry. Looks like our next memorabilia card is in here. Followed up by a Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers, a gold team. DK Metcalf of the Seahawks headed to Jason. Followed up by Darren Waller of the Raiders and Devin Singletary of the Bills. And here we go. It is going to be a rookie patch auto out of 149. That is Terrace Marshall Jr., freshman fabrics of the Carolina Panthers. And that is going to Daryl. Welcome, Daryl. Allen Robinson of the Bears. Followed up by a seal of approval, Aaron Donald of the Rams going to Jason. Following that up with Matt Ryan of the Falcons and A.J. Brown of the Titans. And here we go. It is going to be a Pieces of the Game. Tony Pollard, 11 out of 25 of the Dallas Cowboys going to Cynthia. Four packs left. Myles Garrett of the Browns, followed by Anthony Schwartz out of 149 RC of the Cleveland Browns as well, heading to Jason. Followed up by a Stars, Aaron Rodgers of the Packers going to Daryl. Then we have a Jalen Hurts of the Eagles and Joe Burrow of the Bengals. DJ Moore of the Panthers, followed by a Zach Wilson out of 249 of the New York Jets headed to Jared. The filler card right there, a George Kittle gold team of the 49ers. George Kittle gold team of the 49ers, followed by Kirk Cousins of the Vikings and Jonathan Taylor of the Colts. Ryan Tannehill of the Titans, followed by Cam Akers of the Rams. Woo, baby! A 2021 Trevor Lawrence! And that is out of 149. Oh, baby! Well, let me check the solds. But that looks like that could be rocking and rolling, and it sure is. Mag-tastic day for Chris. What a way to get started. Or to get into our first certified eBay. Right there. Nice hit for Chris. Followed by Devin White of the Buccaneers and Derek Carr of the Raiders. Here we go. We have Jamison Crowder of the Jets, followed by a Christian McCaffrey out of 299. And then boom, shakalaka. And now we have a 2001 edition, 2021 Mac Jones. Pulling back-to-back packs. This one not numbered, though. Then we have Devontae Parker of the Dolphins and Antonio Gibson of the Washington Football Team. Not bad at all. Wow, that is magtastic as well. Now that we're looking at it. Incredible. Incredible mags that we're pulling right there. And that is of the New England Patriots going to Rob. Rob, welcome to Break Traders. Have yourself a mag. Alrighty. Here we go. Zach Wilson out of 249 of the New York Jets headed to Jared. Anthony Schwartz out of 149 of the Browns headed to Jason. And Kellen Mond out of 299 of the Minnesota Vikings headed to Sylvester. And now we're on to our featured cards. First, a non-numbered, or a vet number, that's 12 out of 75, Tua, followed up by the Devontae Parker out of 249, and then a Tony Pollard out of 25. Tony Pollard of the Cowboys headed to Cynthia. Tua and Devontae Parker of the Dolphins going to Bill. Then our next rookie hits, we have the Terrace Marshall Jr. out of 149 and the Larry Roundtree out of 25. Larry Roundtree of the Los Angeles Chargers headed to Jason. Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Panthers headed to Daryl. And then here we go. Mag City. The first, we have the 2021 Graffiti Mac Jones non-number to the Patriots. And then we have a Graffiti out of 149, and that is Mr. Trevor Lawrence of the Jacksonville Jaguars heading to Christopher. And with that, we are done with break number 1246. We will be back in 3 minutes with some Chronicles draft picks. We are back with some Chronicles football. We have two teams to auction off here. First, the Indianapolis Colts. The bidding will begin for them at $5 in increments of $1. Do we have $5 for the Colts? 6 from Josh. 5 from Harry. For some reason, I didn't see that in the main chat. Sorry about that, Harry. 6 from Josh. Alrighty, we'll start 30 seconds on the clock right here. Let's see. Any bids within the 30-second window will trigger a 15-second window afterwards. Alrighty, Josh, you have the Colts right there. You can drop the payment in the link for $6 at the PayPal in the chat, or you can wait because you may be bidding on the Kansas City Chiefs. The bidding for them starts at $5 and it goes up by dollar increments. Minimum increment increases of $1. Phil, for $5, do we have $6 for the Chiefs? Alrighty, 30 seconds on the clock. And there we have it. Phil has it. You can drop the link in the chat. In the meantime, type fence in the chat while we wait to receive payment, and we will randomize these shortly. Fence, fence, fence. Alrighty. Thank you, Josh. Just waiting, and we're good to go with both. John, can we get a 5-second countdown on Fence?
Sure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is Josh Kistler.
Josh Kistler getting some upper deck hockey. Yeah, we'll use the shipping address that's in the Shopify system for you. Don't worry about what you send in PayPal because you're a current or consistent customer. We have Jacob Vorvek, Henry Jokaru, Alexander Nylander of Portraits, Jonas Johansson, Ryan Graves, Drake Batherson, Tyler Johnson, and Sam Reiner. There we go, Josh. Alrighty, and with that, we are ready to go. This is break number 1247, the 2021 Chronicles Draft Picks. One box, pick your team. Remember, this rookie rundown only includes first round picks because they're all rooks in this one. Zach Wilson of the New York Jets headed to Eric, followed by Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens going to Cynthia. Then we have Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Carolina Panthers going to Phil, followed up by Rondale Moore of the Arizona Cardinals headed to BMWs. Then we have a Mac Diddley Jones that is going to be of the New England Patriots going to Rob. Welcome to BreakTraders, Rob. Followed by a Spectra, Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears going to Eric. Welcome to BreakTraders, Eric. Followed by Jalen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins. And then our memorabilia is going to be a substantial swatch, and that is Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond of the Minnesota Vikings, and that is going to Todd. We have Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers going to Josh, followed by a Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants. Kadarius Toney of the Giants headed to Ryan. Then we have Kenneth Gainwell of the Philadelphia Eagles going to Nate. And then we have a filler card in there, followed by Elijah Molden of the Tennessee Titans going to Christian, followed by Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons. Illusions headed to Brian. Then we have another Kyle Pitts Flux edition of the Falcons going to Brian. And then Michael Carter of the New York Jets headed to Eric. And here we go with our next auto, and that is Tony Fields II. Tony Fields II of the Cleveland Browns headed to Cynthia. And we're on to the third pack in this one. Javonte Williams of the Denver Broncos going to Phil, followed by Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars headed to Michael. Then we have Mr. Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers going to Josh, followed up with Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears. Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears. And that is going to be heading to Eric. Followed up by Mac Jones of the New England Patriots. Mac Jones with the recon of the New England Patriots going to Rob. Followed up by Zach Wilson of the New York Jets headed to Eric. And then we have Chatarius Tutu Atwell of the Los Angeles Rams going to Jordan. Followed by a silver Trevor Lawrence rated rookie of the Jaguars headed to Michael. Alrighty, halfway through. On to our fourth pack. Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers. Trey Lance of the 49ers going to Josh. Followed by a Javonte Williams of the North of the Denver Broncos going to Phil. Then we have Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens. And that is going to Cynthia. Followed by a filler card right in there. Then we have a little Travis Etienne XR edition of the Jacksonville Jaguars to Michael. Followed up by Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Carolina Panthers going to Phil. Then we have Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears going to Eric. And then a blue Spectra, that's out of 99, Jamar Chase of the Cincinnati Bengals going to John. And then our auto is going to be Dax Milne. Dax Milne of the Washington football team headed to Ryan. And I also realize this is cut day, so some of these rookies may be flipping teams here, but this will be as of before cut day for sure. Travis Etienne of the Jacksonville Jaguars going to Michael, followed by Rashad Bateman of the Baltimore Ravens headed to Cynthia. Then we have Justin Fields of the Chicago Bears going to Eric. Following that up, we have a Zach Wilson of the New York Jets. Zach Wilson of the New York Jets Recon Edition going to Eric, followed by a red Jalen Waddle Illusions of the Miami Dolphins headed to Chris, and that's out of 149. Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Carolina Panthers going to Phil, and then Jamie Newman of the Philadelphia Eagles going to Nate. And then our auto is going to be Brevin Jordan. Brevin Jordan from the Miami Hurricanes and now on the Houston Texans, and that is going to Brian. We have Tylan Wallace of the Baltimore Ravens going to Cynthia, followed by Seth Williams of the Denver Broncos headed to Phil, followed by a Justin Fields, this one of the Chicago Bears going to Eric. Then we have a Prestige Tamaron Terry of the Seattle Seahawks heading to Chris. Following that up, we have a Kylan Hill of the Green Bay Packers, and that's going to Cynthia, followed by Devonta Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles heading to Nate, and then another Tamaron Terry of the Seattle Seahawks headed to Chris. Following that one up, we have Pat Freiermuth of the Pittsburgh Steelers going to Heather. Alrighty, let's run down these first round picks. We have Devonta Smith of the Philadelphia Eagles, Justin Fields of the Bears, Jalen Waddle of the Miami Dolphins, and that's out of 149. Zach Wilson of the New York Jets, Justin Fields, Travis Etienne of the Jaguars, a Jamar Chase out of 99 of the Cincinnati Bengals, followed by Justin Fields, Travis Etienne, Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers, a silver Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars, Zach Wilson, Mac Jones of the New England Patriots, Justin Fields, Trey Lance, Travis Etienne, Kyle Pitts of the Atlanta Falcons, Kyle Pitts, Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants, Trey Lance, Jalen Waddle of the Dolphins, Justin Fields of the Bears, Mac Jones, and Zach Wilson. And now on to our featured cards. First, our three autos. We have Brevin Jordan, Tony Fields, and Dax Milne. Dax Milne of the Washington football team headed to Ryan. Brevin Jordan of the Houston Texans going to Brian. And Tony Fields, the second of the Cleveland Browns, going to Cynthia. And last but not least, we have the Kellen Mond Substantial Swatches. Kellen Mond Substantial Swatches of the Minnesota Vikings going to Todd. And with that, we are done with break 1247. We will be right back from the hardwood with our first of 2 Revolution basketball breaks. Here we go. This is break 1248. Break 1248, the 2020-21 Revolution Basketball 1-box Pick Your Team auction. For 4 rookies, 4 inserts, and 8 parallels. 8 packs of 5 cards per pack. Goran Dragic of the Miami Heat heading to Mark. Jonas Valanciunas of the Grizzlies heading to Carl. DeAndre Ayton of the Phoenix Suns going to Jay, followed by a Devin Booker Groove edition of the Phoenix Suns, and that is going to Jay as well, followed by a Supernova Trae Young of the Atlanta Hawks going to Jose. And wow, I think 3/4 of this break are new. Welcome to BreakTraders, and you can always use promo code NEWBT for 20% off your first purchase at BreakTraders.com. We have Andrew Wiggins of the Warriors, Kevin Huerter of the Atlanta Hawks, followed by Drew Holiday of the Milwaukee Bucks. And then we're going to have a Supernova Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns headed to Jay, followed by a Cole Anthony RC of the Orlando Magic, and that is going to Carl. And that Supernova Devin Booker is 4 out of 50 of the Phoenix Suns. Nice hit right there. Jamal Murray of the Nuggets, Domantas Sabonis of the Pacers, Carmelo Anthony of the Portland Trailblazers, followed by a Tim Hardaway Jr. Astro edition of the Dallas Mavericks headed to Carl, and then a Vortex James Harden of the Houston Rockets, and that is going to Cynthia. Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz going to Kyle. Devontae Graham of the Hornets headed to Justin. D'Angelo Russell of the Timberwolves going to Kevin, followed by Daniel Oturu of the Los Angeles Clippers. And that is going to be an Astro Edition RC headed to Kyle. And then we have Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons going to Anthony. And we are halfway through this break. We have Andre Drummond of the Cavaliers headed to Carl, followed by Kyle Kuzma of the Lakers going to Jose. Followed by a Kelly Porter Jr. Astro Edition. Kelly Oubre Jr. of the Golden State Warriors going to Jose. And then a Shockwave Revolution Ben Simmons of the 76ers headed to Mark. And then we have a auto. And that is going to be Mr. Al Horford of the Oklahoma City Thunder. Al Horford of the Thunder with the Revolution auto right there, and that is going to Mark. See what we've got right here. We have LaMarcus Aldridge of the Spurs, Jaren Jackson of the Grizzlies, Brook Lopez of the Milwaukee Bucks, Terrell Terry of the Dallas Mavericks, and that is going to be a Lava 6 out of 10. 6 out of 10. Nice one right there. And that is of the Dallas Mavericks going to Carl. Following that up with Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves going to Kevin. Alfred Payton of the Knicks, Lou Williams of the Clippers, CJ McCollum of the Trailblazers, a Theo Maledon Groove edition of the Oklahoma City Thunder going to Mark, followed by a rookie revolution Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers going to Mark as well. Draymond Green of the Warriors, followed by John Collins of the Hawks. Nikola Jokic of the Denver Nuggets. A liftoff Zion Williamson. The liftoff Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans. And that is going to Mark. Following up with Cassius Winston, RC of the Washington Wizards going to Mark. Alrighty. Well, let's run some of these inserts and parallels down. We have Ben Simmons of the 76ers to Mark, followed by a Kelly Oubre Jr., and that is going to be an Astro edition. Kelly Oubre Jr. of the Golden State Warriors to Jose. The Vortex, James Harden of the Houston Astros headed to Cynthia. The Astro, Tim Hardaway Jr. of the Mavs headed to Carl. The Supernova, Trae Young of the Hawks headed to Jose. And the Devin Booker Groove edition of the Phoenix Suns going to Jay. And now our rookie rundown. We have Cassius Winston of the Wizards. Theo Maledon of the Oklahoma City Thunder Groove edition. Followed up by a rookie revolution, Tyrese Maxey of the 76ers headed to Mark. Jaden McDaniels of the Minnesota Timberwolves headed to Kevin. Killian Hayes of the Detroit Pistons heading to Anthony. Daniel Arturo Astro edition of the Clippers going to Kyle. And then Cole Anthony of the Orlando Magic headed to Carl. And now on to our featured cards. We have the liftoff Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans headed to Mark. Following that up, we have two numbered. We have the out of 50 Devin Booker and the out of 10 Terrell Terry. Devin Booker of the Phoenix Suns going to Jay. Terrell Terry of the Dallas Mavericks going to Carl. And then last but not least, we have an auto, and that is Al Horford of the Oklahoma City Thunder, and that is going to Mark. And with that, we are done with break 1248. Done with break 1248. We'll be taking a 5-minute break, and we'll be back with some more Revolution basketball. Alrighty, we are back with another Revolution basketball break. We've got one team to auction off here, and it is a big boy. So we are going to be auctioning off the Minnesota Timberwolves. Go chase some Anthony Edwards. We will start the bidding at $5, and it will go up in increments of $5. Minnesota Timberwolves. Josh with $5. Do we have $10? Do we have 10 for the Minnesota Timberwolves? $10 from AM Breaks. 10 from AM Breaks. Do we have 15? Looking for $15. We have 15 from Rcast. 15 from Rcast. We're looking for $20. Do we have $20? Do we have 20 for the Minnesota Timberwolves? All right, we will start the 30-second countdown. Starting the countdown. Any bids will trigger another 15-second countdown. And that will continue until there's no bids. Until there's no bids in a 15-second period. $30 seconds on the clock. Joe Ramos with $20, which means it will certainly be in a 15-second countdown. Chris with 25. And 15 seconds on the clock. 25, 30, the high bid, 15 seconds on the clock. And Rcast takes it. Rcast takes it. It appears that we did get Joe Ramos's bid, but it was just after the countdown was complete. Alrighty. Rcast, you can pay via the link in the chat. Pay via the link in the chat. While we wait to receive that payment, we will do our next giveaway. This is just going to be a randomization because we're out of TV shows for right now. So we are just going to be randomizing TV. Drop TV in the chat. Alrighty, we are still awaiting payment. But John, let's get a 10-second countdown on TV.
Sure. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It is Freakazon.
Freakazon taking it, and they get a Diamond Kings pack. We have the Babe Ruth of the Yankees, Colby Allard of the Braves RC, a Team Heroes, Aaron Judge of the Yankees, Ty Cobb of the Tigers, and Sam Crawford of the Tigers. There we go. And let me just double check here. Still awaiting that payment. Arcast, can you please complete that payment? John, you're not seeing anything payment-wise either, are you?
No, not yet. Oh, yep.
Alrighty. All right. Here we go. This is break 1249, the 2020-21 Revolution Basketball One Box Pick Your Team. Eric Gordon of the Rockets, Jonas Valanciunas of the Grizzlies, Colin Sexton of the Cavaliers, followed by a Steph Curry Groove edition of the Golden State Warriors headed to Crossfade. And then we have a Obi Toppin RC of the New York Knicks, and that is going to Anthony. Anthony, a new member of the BreakTraders community. Welcome to BreakTraders. And remember, folks, if you're new to BreakTraders, use promo code NEWBT for 20% off your first purchase. We've got a ton of different breaks and options on the site for you. DeAndre Ayton of the Suns, Aaron Gordon of the Magic, Davis Bertans of the Washington Wizards, Marvin Bagley Jr., and that is an Astro edition of the Sacramento Kings, headed to Gene. Followed by a Shockwave Revolution, RJ Barrett of the New York Knicks, and that is going to Anthony. No problem, Amateur Space. Drew Holiday of the Bucks, Domantas Sabonis of the Pacers, Victor Oladipo of the Pacers, and then we have a Vernon Carey Jr. RC, and that's going to be an Astro edition, followed by and that is going to Crossfade, followed by Josh Green of the Dallas Mavericks, going to Rich. Carmelo Anthony of the Trailblazers, followed by Tyler Hero of the Heat, Jimmy Butler of the Heat, followed by a Tobias Harris, and that is going to be a Tobias Harris Astro edition of the 76ers, followed by Oleksiy Pokusevski Rookie Revolution of the Oklahoma City Thunder, headed to Zach. D'Angelo Russell of the Timberwolves, followed by Andre Drummond of the Cavs, Al Horford of the Thunder, a Tyrese Maxey RC Impact Edition out of 149 of the 76ers right there. And that is going to be going to Thomas. Looks like, I can't tell if that's like a little bend in the corner or just the how the card looks right there. Followed by a Xavier Tillman of the Memphis Grizzlies, and that is going to Rich. We have 3 packs left in this break. We have Kyle Kuzma of the Lakers, Derrick Rose of the Pistons, Mike Conley of the Utah Jazz, a Cassius Stanley Fractal RC of the Indiana Pacers headed to BMWs, followed by a Rudy Gobert Vortex edition of the Utah Jazz going to Jonathan. That is really weird. That just fell out of the pack. It looks like a piece of card, but there's no cards broken. Interesting. All right, we have Brooke Lopez of the Bucks, Lou Williams of the Clippers, LeBron James of the Lakers, a Vortex, Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks headed to Rich, and then a Malachi Flynn RC of the Toronto Raptors headed to Mr. CEO. And we're on to our last pack in this one. We have CJ McCollum of the Trailblazers, Lonzo Ball of the Pelicans, Markelle Fultz of the Magic, a Brandon Clark of the Memphis Grizzlies, and then a Shockwave, Zion Williamson of the New Orleans Pelicans headed to Brett. Alrighty. We'll run down these veterans, parallels, and inserts. We have the Zion Williamson Shockwave of the Pelicans going to Brett, followed by the Vortex Luka Doncic of the Dallas Mavericks to Rich, a Vortex Rudy Gobert of the Utah Jazz to Jonathan, a Tobias Harris Astro edition of the Philadelphia 76ers headed to Thomas, the Shockwave RJ Barrett to Anthony, Marvin Bagley the third Astro edition of the Sacramento Kings headed to Gene, and then Steph Curry of the Golden State Warriors Groove edition going to Crossfade. And now our rookie rundown. We have Malachi Flynn of the Toronto Raptors, followed by a Cassius Winston Fractal edition of the Wizards going to Jonathan. Then Malachi Flynn of the Raptors heading to Mr. CEO. Memphis Grizzly... Xavier Tillman of the Grizzlies heading to Rich. Oleski Pukusevski, Rookie Revolution of the Thunder, going to Zach. Josh Green of the Dallas Mavericks going to Rich. Vernon Carey Jr. Astro edition of the Hornets headed to Crossfade. And Obi Toppin of the New York Knickerbockers going to Anthony. And our featured card is going to be out of 149. That is Tyrese Maxey of the Philadelphia 76ers. And with that, we are done with break 1249. We'll be right back from BT Field with break 1288. Alrighty, we are back with some certified football. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed us and hope to see you again soon. Here we go. This is break 1288, the 2021 certified one box pick your team. Alrighty, here we go. Darren Waller of the Raiders, followed by a Zach Wilson out of 99. Little Zach Wilson out of 99 right there. Definitely no complaints there. And that is going to be heading to Steven with the New York Jets. Let's check this little guy out and see what we've got. Zach Wilson out of 99. And there we go, folks. That is mag-tastic. Magtastic right there. Alrighty. Following that up with a seal of approval, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs going to Lucas. Then we have Aaron Donald of the Rams, followed by Dak Prescott of the Cowboys. Devin Singletary of the Bills, followed by a Stars. Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens going to Cynthia, followed by Julio Jones of the Falcons and James Robinson of the Jaguars. And then here we go. We have the Freshman Fabrics rookie patch auto out of 249. That is Cornell Powell with the tricolor of the Kansas City Chiefs headed to Lucas. And we're on to our third pack in this one. Terry McLaurin of the Washington football team, followed by a gold team, Devontae Adams of the Green Bay Packers headed to Brooks. Then we have Mr. Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals and Keenan Allen of the Chargers. And here we go. It is going to be a Kellen Mond out of 249 of the Minnesota Vikings. The new generation, and that is going to Haley. We have Odell Beckham of the Browns, followed by a Devontae Adams of the Green Bay Packers out of 249. And then we're going to have a 2021 graffiti, and that is going to be Mr. Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers. Trey Lance of the 49ers. And we know that that is going to be worth some scratch and is going to be magtastic as well. Surprisingly, Mac Jones has been selling higher. To me, I'd think Trey Lance is a better option, but I guess Mac, at least in terms of future, though Mac Jones is the starting quarterback, so. Nice hit right there. Followed by Myles Gaskin of the Dolphins and Allen Robinson of the Bears. Okay, we have Thomas Brady of the Buccaneers, followed by a Joseph Osai RC of the Cincinnati Bengals out of 199 going to David. We have a filler card there, followed by a 2021 graffiti Jalen Hurts of the Philadelphia Eagles headed to Cynthia. Then we have Darius Slayton of the Giants and Lamar Jackson of the Ravens. Tyler Lockett of the Seahawks, followed by Saquon Barkley of the Giants, a Derrick Henry of the Tennessee Titans out of 249 Dark Horse going to Carl, followed by Ryan Tannehill of the Titans and Cam Akers of the Rams. We have Marlon Humphrey of the Ravens, followed by a Cam Akers out of 149 of the Los Angeles Rams going to Brooks. Then we have a seal of approval, Von Miller of the Denver Broncos, and that is going to Jordan. Following that up with a little bit of Jamison Crowder of the Jets and DeAndre Swift of the Detroit Lions. And we got three packs left here in this break and in this show. We have Aaron Jones of the Green Bay Packers. Following that up with a Stars, Patrick Mahomes of the Kansas City Chiefs going to Lucas. And then we have Brandon Cooks of the Texans and Taysom Hill of the Saints. And here we go. It is going to be a Damien Harris Patriots patch out of 299, and that is headed to Adam. We have Michael Pittman of the Colts, followed by a gold team, Aaron Donald of the Los Angeles Rams headed to Brooks. Then we have Mr. Drew Lock of the Denver Broncos and Brandon Ayuk of the 49ers. And then here we go. It is going to be a Leonard Fournette mirror signatures out of 45 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to RJ. And we're on to the last pack. Travis Kelce of the Chiefs, a Kylan Hill RC of the Green Bay Packers going to Brooks, followed up by a filler card. Then we have a Tyreek Hill dark horse of the Kansas City Chiefs going to Lucas, followed by Myles Garrett of the Browns and DJ Moore of the Carolina Panthers. And here we go. We have two rookies to run down. We have Kylan Hill of the Packers and Joseph Ossai of the Bengals. Kylan Hill of the Packers heading to Brooks. Joseph Ossai of the Bengals out of 149 going to David. And now on to our featured cards. First, our veterans. We have the mirror signatures out of 45. Leonard Fournette of the Buccaneers going to RJ. And Damien Harris out of 299 of the Patriots going to Adam. Then our two rookie patches. We are going to have Mr. Cornell Powell with the tricolor out of 249 rookie patch auto of the Chiefs headed to Lucas, and the Kellen Mond out of 249 new generation patch of the Vikings headed to Haley. And then of course we had two QB mags in the first one, and we got two in the second one. We have the Trey Lance 2021 graffiti, and then in addition to that, we have the Zach Wilson 13 out of 99 of the New York Jets. Zach Wilson of the Jets headed to Steve, and Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers is going to be going to Steve. To both the same Steve. Nice break for Steve right there. And there we have it, folks. That is the end of break 1288. And with that, that is the end of today's breaks. Hopefully you had a great time. We will see you back tomorrow night at 7:30. If you don't follow us on Instagram, you're going to want to go to BreakTraders, because this week we're giving away 5 spots into a 2021 Panini Black card random that we will be running on Friday. In addition, you can get into our Panini Black breaks that we currently have scheduled for 30% off. That's right, 30% off using code BLKPAN30, and that code expires Thursday night at 11:59 p.m. Well, thank you very much. Thanks to John and Dan for being here, and most importantly, thank you to all the members of the BT community that showed up and made today such a great show. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow night at 7:30 and 10:30, or when the 2 sets of eBay breaks go off. You can get into those. They'll start closing tonight around 6 p.m. Have a great day and happy breaking.